Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to the Christopher Mark Show. On this episode, we're going to talk about how do you know if you have uh, a good relationship. So this one we're going to talk about. Um, we're going to talk about social, and then the next one we'll get into personal relationships and professional relationships. Okay, so how do you know if you're around good people, right? Well, first thing you have to think about is like, okay, if you're talking to people in a social setting, social environment, or you're saying, for example, it's like I'm around all these different types of people, or you're calling everybody your friend. Okay, so one thing you have to understand is that everybody is not your friend. Um, so you have to look at that and you have to accept that. Like everybody's not your friend. Now, what determines if a person's your friend or not? Well, so as a human being, like we're designed in layers, right? So when it comes down to people that we deal with, some people will be able to love you based upon the layer that they can you and them can exist within. Okay, so let's say, for example, you meet people where, hey, I got a lot of friends at work. Okay, so those people are your work friends. Okay, now you might say, well, okay, well, I got work friends. Okay, cool, but I hang out with them sometimes every now and again. That's because y'all work together, right? But let's say, for example, you left that job. This has happened to me too, by the way. Like I've left my job years ago, and after I left, nobody called me. Literally, like I probably got like a couple calls from a few people, but after that, no one called to see if I was okay. No one checked in on me. No one did anything. It was just that was it. And you can be friends with people on social media all day, but it doesn't mean that they in their from their perspective, it's like, look, I'll see you. There's you're still that person that worked there, and outside of that, that was just it. And so, um, that's the first layer is understanding, like, okay, what's a social environment you're um that people have to live within, and that you can deal with them in. Okay. Then after that, you have your people that you kind of know because of other people. Okay. Again, those people aren't we haven't gotten to your friends yet. Those people now are the people where you know because of other people, or because it's been a long time. Those people are what you would call is like associates, or people who they're part of your like your Rolodex of resources, right? So you might know them, but y'all don't hang out all the time. They're not there for you when you're crying or when you're going through things or when you're feeling discouraged or whatever, right? So those people are more like your associates, right? Now we're going to get into this third stage. This third stage is really like, okay, um, I am trying to, you know, you have people that you're close with, so you're trying to connect with them, but it's hard to maintain the relationship. You got to call them a lot, you got to check in on them, even though you love them and you care about them. And there has been a moment in time that relationship had that bonding value because of time, because of responsibilities, because of just a lot of things, and just because of there's not a mutual effort. Whether even if you're putting in an effort, sometimes the other person might not be able to put that level of effort that you're putting in, and thus the relationship winds up dissipating. So it doesn't change the fact that y'all had that moment in time. So those people they're more of a part of your outer circle. They're not. they're not part so far out where they're like, oh, I just work with them or I'll see them around. They're more of a like when y'all connect, y'all really connect. But you've accepted that you're not going to connect with them every day. Now you're going to enter into your inner circle. Now your inner circle, that part is okay. You know people, y'all cool, y'all kick it. Uh, maybe every at least once a month or every couple of months. So those are your inner circle people. And then you have your your intimate circle. Now your intimate circle, everybody doesn't make it to that, right? Because now you're talking about things that require, you know, more in-depth conversations, hours of conversations. You who do you spend the most time with? Who do you hang out with? Who helps you when you're down? That support, like that real support system. Um, that's your intimate circle. That's a person where it's like, that's like you family at that point, right? So, and those are the social layers that mostly you deal with in when it comes to relationships. And that's how it's kind of broken down. And then after that, obviously you got your personal relationships and stuff like that. So, how do you utilize social relationships? Well, the first thing you have to think about is, what are your goals, right? What are the goals you're trying to achieve in life? Then you have to ask yourself, um, are the people around you, are they a part of the goals you're trying to achieve in your life? Like, could they help you with that? Or are they more of a hindrance? Or people that just basically waste your time. So they fall in one of those categories. Now they fall into the category of people that actually like are more of a hindrance or people that would just waste your time. Then what you have to do with them is you have to put them in environments where you kind of you don't necessarily have to get rid of them. You just have to make sure that when you deal with them, it has a reason. Like it has a reason why you're hanging around them. Like so that way you're not if you're even if you're around them, you're still not wasting your time. Like I always tell people, it's like time is money, money is time, right? So it's like if you're a lot of times people are working so that they can have time. So essentially, like if you have more money, it'd be more time that you would have to enjoy your life, to have freedom, stuff like that. To enjoy your family and stuff like that. So that's the main thing about where time is money and money is time. But the one thing that you have to like really focus on is like when it comes to relationships is okay, what do you want? What service is this person providing? Okay. The next thing you have to think about is your belief system. Your belief system has to be similar because, and that's when if they enter into your inner circle, your outer circle, or whether they enter into your intimate circle, your circle. Those are the main three areas where you really need to be like understanding of their belief system. If their belief system is not incongruent with your belief system, then what you have to do is you have to figure out where they're going to fall at. Some people, they might still be good people, but they might not have your belief system, so they might fall into the outer circle of your friendship area, right? And so when you have people who do that and they fall into the outer circle of your friendship, um, then you really have to like make sure that when you when you're around them, even if y'all might not have a same belief system, you still understand the value that they offer, even if it might not be the same. Okay. Uh, the next thing is really like, okay, once you have down the belief system and whether your belief system is operating on the same level, the next thing you have to think about is what is your lifelong goal, right? And this is really mainly for people who are in your inner circle and your intimate circle. Because your lifelong goal might be, some people's goals is different. Everybody's interpretation of love is different. Everybody's interpretation of their goals are different. So you might have people where they're just like, hey, I just want to make six figures. I'm good. Some people may say, I want to make seven figures. I'm good. Some people is more about, I just want to, make some money, get a girl, have some kids, get a nice little house. I'm good. And so based upon whatever goal that you have is really determining, really how much of their time you're going to really be able to give to them. Right? So if a person, say for example, a person's goal is like, I just want a family and, kids and just make a little bit of money. And they're still a part of your inner circle. It doesn't mean that you can't really um, be cool with them or be close to them, but it does mean that you're probably not going to give the level of time that you would to a person who's a part of your intimate circle because you guys have the same the same goal in mind, the same mission or the same purpose, right? Even if you guys have different purposes, it in some if in some way it complements one another, then that is really what allows for you to understand, like, okay, this person is actually a good person to have around me. Um, so the main thing about with social uh, relationships is you have to understand really, what are they offering? How much are they offering? Um, what is their understanding of the relationship? And then the other thing is that it's not just about what they're offering, it's also about whether you can match what their expectations are of you, right? And just that's just being realistic because sometimes you might be friends with people, but some people can their way of operating can be a deterrent for you, right? And so most people don't understand that because it's like they're like, "Oh, well, I have a lot of friends. How come you can't fall in line with that?" And that really just comes down to your purpose. If your purpose is not in alignment with with their lifestyle, then it's not going to work. So, before I leave you guys, I just wanted to let you know that like when it comes down to social events, or not social events, but social people and your social relationships, you have to make sure that you understand, like, why are you around this person? Like, what is the goal of the relationship? What is the goal of maintaining it? Because whether it's, hey, we're friends, hey, we're this, hey, we're that, or hey, that's my buddy, I've known him since I was young, that's all fine. It's just a matter of the level of attention that they're going to have in your life. Because if you waste your time, at the end of the day, you're not getting it back. So you need to be very sure about who's going to get how much of your time. And once you understand that and break that down, then you can actually build something from there. You can, now you can understand, okay, you know what? I feel like, say for example, I feel like, Sue is better part of my outer circle than my inner circle. I feel like John is better for, my intimate circle because we're in alignment and I think we can really help each other to get to the goal that we're trying to achieve. And plus he's really encouraging, or I feel like, Michelle is very encouraging, so she can help me with this. These are just examples of helping you to understand that it's like you can utilize people in so many different avenues and different aspects. It just has to make sure that your language, your belief system are all in alignment. And if they're in alignment, then you actually can understand, who you're going to spend time with, how much time you're going to spend with them, so forth and so on. Okay? So, in the next episode, we're going to be talking about personal relationships. um, and from the the positive, negative, um, and I'm going to say some stuff that's for the strictly for men, and I'm gonna say that stuff that's strictly for women, and I'll let you know what that is. But don't be offended. Don't Please don't be offended. I'm telling you ahead of time. Um, because everything is designed to help you to understand that uh, helping you to understand what you need to do and how to really maintain relationships. Um, and understanding that this way of being is more of a healthy way, so that way you don't get angry at people, you don't get upset at people. You actually understand where they fall at, and you don't have to get mad at them for being who they are. Because you can't control people. The only person you can control is yourself. So that's the main thing I just wanted to kind of talk about. And this one is, um, just make sure that you understand the dynamic and the system, the belief system that you and the person have in your social groups. Um, and then you just kind of build something from there. All right. I will see you guys on the next episode. And yeah, if you guys want to ever, book an appointment to chat, just feel free. I'm going to leave a link so you can book that appointment, and we can, talk a little bit more about this if this is something that was of interest to you. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.